Hey guys, this is Lisa from NYC Gal Out. Welcome back to my new YouTube channel, NYC Gal Pod, okay? Now don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment, and all that good jazz. I know you guys are out there, and you know how I know this? Because my original channel, my #1 video was my Woody doll. I did a review on Toy Story, the Sheriff Woody doll, and that is still even in this new channel, but you guys are not subscribing. I don't know if you guys think this is like my backup channel, because I know some content creators, they have like 2, 3, 4 channels. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not out there trying to make 2, 3, 4 channels. This is my only channel. The old channel, that no longer exists. And this is how I know that people have been searching for me, because my old channel, again, my #1 video with the most views was that Sheriff Woody toy review that I did. That lets me know that is because people are searching. One, they're either searching for that video because they no longer could find it originally where it was posted, so they're searching for it. That video has so many likes on it and so many comments that I know that people have it saved onto their playlist. So now that that video isn't showing up on their playlist, they're either searching it by putting in what they remember of my username handle, which is NYC Gal Out, but you know, that's not going to show up anymore. Instead, the closest thing to it will show up, what looks the most familiar to them. So that's how I know that my subscribers are out there, but you guys are either not listening, you don't know where to find me. I don't know. This is like YouTube dictatorship over here. But anyway, let's get on with part 2 of the Sweet 16th reunion of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, I don't even know why they decided to do 3 parts. It wasn't much of anything. You know, we get a little bit more about this alliance that was formed between the newbies. We get a little bit more about the whole Brit Eady situation. I'm just, I think I'll be able to wrap up this recap in like under 15 minutes. I'm going to shoot for 10 minutes because there wasn't much to talk about. Look, with the whole Angela thing and Junebug and Mama Dukes and whoever else, I don't even know what. Do I think that Phaedra has something to do with it? She might. I don't think she acted alone, meaning I don't think that it involved Porsha, but I think that production knew. Here's the thing. This man was mic'd up. He was mic'd up. You're going to have a random person that is at the event mic'd up. Why choose him of everybody else? Because they're not going to put a mic on every single guest. They're going to put a mic on the cast members and specific people that are going to be relevant to that scene. So that lets me know that, oh, this is more than just Phaedra working behind the scenes trying to create a narrative. So do I think she has something to do with it? I do. I don't think she acted alone. You know, producers are messy. There's been so many times that producers have gotten a housewife in trouble because they're in their ears saying, well, this will guarantee screen time, or this will guarantee that this scene will air on the editing floor, or this will guarantee that you'll come back for next season. And they might not tell them what to do specifically, but they're planting that seed in their head that, okay, this is what I need to do. Anyway, I don't think Angela did it to herself. That don't make no damn sense. I don't think Angela did it to herself, especially the way Charles reacted. But also, the whole entire season, they've been coming after Angela about her marriage. And I just don't see herself sabotaging herself like that. I think Angela, like everybody else, they're going to want to present themselves in the best light. But as far as the Sweet 16 cast is concerned, Angela is the only one who's coming across the most authentic. To me, anyway. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but, you know, she's talking about her foreclosures and everything else and whatever else. That to me, you like on these franchises, nobody likes to talk about money. Nobody likes to talk about finances because that is the #1 thing that all these housewives front on. So Angela coming and saying, yeah, like I'm $2 million in debt. I need to get rid of these damn houses. That to me, it's so genuine. Like it's so I just feel like, no, if she was going to like do something, it would be about finances. I don't think she would mess with her marriage like that. So I don't think Angela had anything to do with it. I do think that Messy Marcus either got into a producer's ears and was like, because they do that sometimes too, in case you guys forget, over there on Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's how the Gorgas got on. The Gorgas basically got on because Pinocchio over there, Melissa, she was hopping on to every social media platform she could. And back then it was Facebook. And she was hopping onto Facebook trying to friend request all these producers, field producers, freaking the video recorders, the camera crew, the freaking audio guy, you know, like she was trying to get into everybody's DMs to be like, oh, I have tea about Teresa. I know her. She's my sister-in-law, blah, 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 blah. So this could be something that Messy Marcus was doing. I don't believe that phone call between Phaedra and her brother. I feel like that phone call was very much like in the know. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was something like, yeah, I'm going to call you and da, 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 da. But anyway, maybe Phaedra didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe Phaedra didn't have anything to do with it. And Messy Marcus just went up to one of the producers, because you could tell when a scene is being filmed, you could tell which one is the producer. He probably went up to one of the producers and was like, hi, I'm Messy Marcus. I work at a restaurant. I have info about Angela's husband, Charles, and da 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 da. That's why you Messy Marcus. Worry about yourself, Messy Marcus. Worry about how you're not allowed around schoolhouses. Anyway, I definitely think that this was an insider job as far as nobody knowing. Oh yeah, people knew, but who knew? Maybe producers, definitely producers, because again, this guy was mic'd up. Phaedra brought up a great point, though. Phaedra was like, well, who put him on the guest list? Saying Kelly. And it was Kelly's event. I mean, I don't know. Was this an event that was open up to the public? Yeah, but it wasn't an event that had like 500 people. Well, I don't know, Kelly. But anyway, but this whole alliance thing, which by the way, she caught to it, you know, this part 2 reunion. Shamia more or less copped to the fact that, yeah, in the beginning, her, Brit, and Kelly did form an alliance. Then she said that she tried to include Porsha into that alliance, and Portia's like, that don't make no damn sense. How are you going to include me into the alliance when I'm not a newbie? Me and Brit, we didn't even know each other like that. Kelly's coming after me about, like, you know, whether I stole some woman's husband. So, like, that don't make no damn sense. And that don't make no damn sense. Like, you know, Shamia was such a disappointment. I am as disappointed in Shamia as I am in Katie Janela over there in OC, because I was rooting for Katie. She was like the one that I went into the first episode rooting for. But man, when I found out she was recording Shannon, you on my shit list. And Shamia's down there with you. I mean, it's not as bad as recording your castmate, but Shamia having this alliance when you don't even know these girls. You didn't know Kelly or Brit like that. Anyway, she's just a mess. Drew, I am upset that Drew is all the way at the end of the couch, because like legit, they should have put Kelly at the end of the couch. I feel like Kelly, she's just like a chihuahua, all bark, no bite. And I feel like because she's so short that she needs to feel very over the top. She's got to be the loudest. She's got to be the most assertive because she is so short. And that's with anyone. Phaedra was exactly like her. Maybe she wasn't as loud. The volume of her voice wasn't as loud, but she kind of... she's giving Phaedra vibes. Like, Phaedra acts exactly like how Kelly acts, just different audio sound levels. But, you know, and I think there is something to it, because when you think about it, you know, the dogs that are like the most annoying are like the little chihuahuas. You know what I mean? Anyway, you never get that nonsense from a Labrador. That's all I'm saying. I liked how Drew was in this episode. I felt like Angela should have been in first chair, then Drew, and then Shamia, and then Kelly should have been in the back. But you know what? Kelly has so many events, though. Girl, that's why she couldn't pay the rent on Chicken and Waffles, Nana's Chicken and Waffles, because she was hosting all these damn events. See, they put it on the newbie because Shamia is supposed to be the one with money like that. Shamia, if you had money like that, you should have been the one doing all the events. But Kelly was doing all of the events. Anyway, they talk about Brit a little, about how the other ladies felt, and about the whole Kenya situation. Now, Cynthia, she's saying, like, you know, I'm not going to sacrifice my integrity for my friends. I get that. I do. I feel the same way. A lot of people are saying, like, you know, why are you giving grace to Phaedra for all the shit that she's done, especially with the whole Candy situation, but you're not extending that grace to Kenya? And what Cynthia says, according to her, is that, you know, Kenya stopped taking her calls, and she hadn't really had any communication with Kenya since then, that she just basically stopped taking her calls. So eventually she stopped calling. And what she's saying that is she doesn't agree with what Kenya did, but it wasn't like she like closed the door and decided not to be friends with her anymore. But she just like, you know, she wasn't going to support her for what she did wrong. But she said that, you know, they weren't able to ever have a conversation because Kenya just never picked up her phone calls or anything. I mean, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, like whatever. Porsha said that her and Kenya did have a conversation, that Kenya was very apologetic, that she was sorry about what happened. And she gave a little bit more backstory about it, saying that, you know, Pistol Edie, when she did what she did, she said that she saw the reaction in Kenya's face, and she saw like the fear that Kenya had. And she knew that Kenya had information about Brit. Then according to Porsha, this is third-hand information, second-hand, third-hand. This is something that would never hold up in court. This is when Attorney Phaedra should have been like, yeah, that second-hand information is inadmissible, and it would have gotten thrown out. But the second-hand info is that Porsha is claiming that Kenya told her that she's got information from Drew. Drew's like, no. What? Like, no. And Drew said, Kenya has came out publicly and privately to say that she didn't get it from me, that she didn't get it from Drew. Porsha's saying that, she hopped onto her YouTube channel and that's why she said what she said. And then she said that, she did have a conversation with Kenya and Kenya was like, I never said it was Drew. And she's saying that, oh, yes, you did and all this other stuff. But you know what? Kenya isn't there. So inadmissible. Thrown out. Okay. I object. And the objection has been sustained because that is secondhand testimony. You cannot get secondhand testimony. In very, very rare situations will a judge allow secondhand testimony to be admissible. This is not admissible, so thrown out, tossed out, sustained. The objection has been sustained. I object. It's been sustained. Anyway, she was saying that, and she was saying that she knew that Kenya wanted to bring this info out, but she never would thought that Kenya would bring this out in her own event. And, after that happened and everything, she's just like, girl, what the hell? You just did this at your event and whatever else. And she said, she didn't think that Kenya would bring it out so publicly with the press there and everything. Because, look, if you had something scandalous like that, it would have been like one thing to be like, oh, well, I got receipts and whatever and all this other stuff. But to put it on a billboard and have it out there. Andy Cohen reads the statement from Kenya and reads the statement from Brit Eady on their social media platforms. And Shamia's like, what the hell? All this happened and you out here saying it's not even you. But she gives some background into it because she's saying that the night that all happened, they all went out and she was fine. She was fine. And she was saying that's why it felt like there was a sense of entitlement because Angela and Drew was like saying, oh, you're coming with this energy. And it's like given like you're feeling a little bit of entitlement. And Shamia gives a little bit more of a backstory too, is saying that the night that this happened, we went out, she was all fine with it. And then the next day she's acting like all devastated and whatever. And now she's saying it's not even her. And Shamia said, I think she always known that wasn't her, but she kind of ride with it as her story arc because, again, they went out that night and she was fine. So it made Shamia think that she always knew that those photos were in her. Let me tell you, nothing is going on with this lawsuit. I am 99.9%. I'm going to go with 100. I'm 100% sure that Pistol Eady has arbitration in her clause, in her contract. That shit ain't going nowhere. It's getting dismissed based on that. Second thing is, she might end up getting sued. Everybody has a different contract. And if you have a good lawyer, a good entertainment lawyer, hopefully they will be able to negotiate a really good contract for you. But I don't think Pistol Eady could get a good lawyer like that. But anyway, I'm pretty certain in her contract that she also has to show up for the reunion as part of her contract. Now, there are exceptions to that. I mean, obviously, if it's like a personal emergency, then they're not going to be able to force you to come in if it's like a legit emergency. But her just not showing up and doing whatever it was that she was doing, she might have broken her contract. Now, do I know that is absolutely in her contract? No, I don't know because I didn't see her contract. So I don't know for a fact. But I am pretty certain that she, as a newbie, when you're a newbie, you really don't have wiggle room for negotiation. You could once you're a veteran of the show, but she's a brand new newbie. Nobody's ever heard of this girl. She wouldn't have any wiggle room to negotiate jack shit. So I'm pretty sure that she probably has a reunion appearance on her contract. So I feel like not only is this going to be dismissed because of the arbitration clause, I feel like Bravo, if they want to really stick it to her, they might go around and sue her ass for a breach of contract. Anyway, they talk a little bit about the falling out with Shamia and Brit, and Shamia saying that, she's coming after me about my kid, saying that I made this all up about her being sick. And she's like, she thinks I have this energy for her because of some donation. No, I felt like she was feeling a certain way about me because me and Kelly got closer. And that's what I was trying to tell her at Phaedra's event or whatever. But then she wanted to go there with my kid. And that's true. When you look at that episode, they weren't even talking about kids. They weren't talking about kids at all. She was saying to her, okay, well, you're jealous. You're feeling a little jealous. And Pistol Eady is like, jealous? Jealous of what? What am I jealous of? And Shamia's like, well, you're jealous because me and Kelly are close now. You're feeling a little iced out. And that's when she goes off about her kid. Like what? There's so many things that you could have talk smacked about. You could have talked smacked about how her husband never shows up on the camera. You could talk smack about how she can't sing. You could talk smack about how she's sitting on Porsha's lap. You could talk smack about so many things. But you chose to go there about her kid. You see, this is why those that defend Pistol Eady is what is it about her that you guys find relatable? Because it's like she's giving Monica Garcia vibes, like, but like 10 times worse. Like those two could be besties. I don't know if those two could be besties or not, because they legit would probably be in the parking lot like fighting each other. So I don't know. I would put my money. You know what though? If it came down to it, I would put my money on Pistol Edie. I would. I think she would whoop Monica Garcia's butt. But anyway, Andy asks Angela about her houses. She's like, my houses were in foreclosures. There were so many debts and whatever. And I had to let those houses go. I was losing money. And you know what? That's not even scandalous, because she's been talking about it since day one, episode 1, since the first time he's seen her on our television screen. That's why when she said to Phaedra, that's not tea, I've been telling people my business. That's why that was such a flop. Phaedra, win a damn case. Anyway, the husbands, they come out in part 3. I'm looking for that, because you do not want to mess with the enforcer. He'd whip everybody's butt. But anyway, the enforcer, he comes out and he's like, why is everybody so concerned about me? Let's talk about all your husbands. Yes, let's talk about a lot of it. Like, Charles is not here to play. He is not here to play. You see, because the whole entire time, I'm like, Angela, this man is not showing up for you. He's making you look like a damn fool on national television, because he don't want to say I love you. He's not picking up her phone calls. But I guess, you know, when it counts, he's showing up and showing out, because he's there. He's sitting behind the chair. So I'm looking forward to that. I didn't really care about this friendship with Porsha and Shamia. Are they friends? Are they not friends? And well, I care about this as much as I care about Messy Marcus and Junebug. Okay, like, go put that in the back burner somewhere. And that was it. But you know what? I better find out about what happened with Miss Diane and Mama Morton, because I want to know. I want to know what the beef is between the two moms. Because you know what? If your mamas are beefing, I bet this is a lot to do with why the two of them are like feeling some sort of way with each other, because now your moms are fighting. Like the daughters are definitely going to be at it. Are you kidding me? Anyways, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment and all that good jazz.